Live. Do, 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 do.
Great.
Camera. Turn that contrast all the way down. I don't need the help.
Oops.
Listen to your Civil War music.
No, that's an ad.
Ah.
I didn't
Yeah, a likely story.
I didn't adjust my where my sound comes in.
Mm-hmm.
It was for the Queen's Ball. I don't know what that is.
Lucky bat. Oh, wow. Ah. Alright, gonna continue to work on these ladies.
Wonderful, wonderful ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. My computer needs a restart, but guess what I'm not going to do right now?
Yeah, perfect. Man, you know that the scale 75 tan really did not work. Kidding, yep. Yo, Sean, hail to all. Windigo, good evening. I need all the paints that are over on that table.
There we go. Jeez Louise. I don't know who this Louise is, but jeez.
All right. Oh my goodness, I gotta get used to that. I keep slamming into the stream station because I think the struts, I have like bracing, and I think the bracing used to be the other way. Def Jama, I enjoy these streams so much that I was the first to dislike.
Ooh, geez, I forgot to dislike.
Oof. All right, what color did I want? I wanted the Pro Acryl Olive Flesh. G4 number 45. Got to the stream and Jay is already gone. Oh, it only gets better. It only gets worse from here.
Oh yeah. I know. And we're going to be announcing the winners of the challenge a little bit later, which is really exciting.
Jason M. Hey Nick, I tried joining the Patreon stream last night and couldn't figure it out. Ended up talking to someone else for a few hours, which was cool. Were you talking to them in like the room, the chat room in Discord?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you gotta.
It's not the right spot.
Yeah, it's under yeah, because that's under voice channels. If you go up under live stream, it should be there. It's always above the call-in stream. If you're a Patreon member. If you're not, then you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you're a patron member, you don't even matter. Not that we pick favorites.
Speaking of Patreon.
Yeah.
Yep.
The patrons paid for that burp water.
This is true.
Interestingly, I'm using this watered down tan, and it's kind of flowing into the recesses exactly like the paint did.
I love recess.
Mm-hmm. Troll Child XY, be a rebel. Like, don't dislike. Odie Man, I'm making a Death Dread right now. A good hobby stream while I hobby. Look at that. Yeah.
Can you even imagine that happening?
Nope.
I can't. There we go. Woo!
Daniel Thompson, got a wet palette, and I'm going to try it out for the first time tonight. Sweet! I like a wet palette. I have 2 wet palettes because I paint so much that I often have 2 projects going on at the same exact time.
Wow. Couldn't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing of Zoom. Hello, Jay and Nick. How was your horrendous day so far?
Yeah.
I mean, this has to be one of the most horrendous days I've ever had in my whole life. Aaron Ferguson, aren't you guys supposed to be announcing the winners of the competition? Yes, in less time, or in like what is it, 14 minutes? Or
yeah.
wait, I have to do math. In 9 minutes. And then we'll be going over the newest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Should be very fun. Here's a hint. It's gonna involve some painting. I know. And maybe even some basing.
Oh my god.
Am I revealing too much?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we really should have
Okay.
gone over this before.
I'm sorry, guys. I just ruined everything.
Mm-hmm. Sebastian Stevenson, hey, I just started painting yesterday and I have gotten the Space Marine paint kit and a recruit box. Any tips on painting and techniques for the Necrons? Yeah! You go, so you're watching us right now, so open a new tab. You click on the Eons of Battle and go to the channel page and you will see literally hundreds and hundreds of videos on how to paint all sorts of different stuff. I'd go there. PJ McMurray, one of my dogs took out my painting lamp, so I sit here sadly while I wait for a new bulb.
Just in the dark.
Just sitting. Oh bother.
Guess I'm gonna wait 2 days for Amazon to bring it to me. Geez, I'd make your dog go buy you a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little... Yeah. Zero respect.
Mm-hmm. Captain Fry 24. I'm sitting here with my broken tomb blades, wondering where it all went wrong. Yeah, tomb blades are fragile. I even though they're supposed to be on the 32mm flying stands, which are garbage, I put mine on the I think they're the 32 by 60 oval bases, and I really like them. Sometimes they're called the cavalry bases. Really like them because what works really well for flying models is when the base is like a perfect silhouette of the model. That way it makes it really hard to be knocked over. When the model protrudes on all sides of the base, that's when they're very knockoverable, like tomb blades.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think they should do... You know how all the paints have weird, dumb names?
Mm-hmm.
I think they should do that for the bases, the base sizes. That'd be pretty good.
This base is called the Battle for McCrag.
It's Crag base, McCrag base. Then no one really knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Boy 15, sell the dog for hobby money.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I mean, there's so many dogs. You're not gonna make much money.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a fancy dog. They can do tricks or whatever. I don't know what makes dogs more expensive.
No, usually I guess it's just color.
Great. Basically, yeah. either, either way, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone should just go to the pound and pick up a
Right?
couple of free dogs.
Right, Lucky Bat. Lucky Bat has a very nice dog, but a little small for my taste, I would say.
I got 2 little mutts.
Mm-hmm. You never ask about my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rude.
G-Force Miner 5. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the basing for my Mechanicus. I was thinking about doing a volcanic style since I was able to pick up a Vallejo Asphalt Black Lava texture paste. I think all the different Vallejo texture pastes are the same. They're just
colored.
Yeah. I have the tan.
Could you believe that I also have the tan?
I wonder if the tan is the cheapest one on Amazon.
It, in fact, is. You better believe it is.
I'm ruining everything. There we go. Well, it's the underside of the chainsword. That's an eviscerator chainsword, not a chainsword.
Jeez.
Sometimes I have to yes actually myself.
That's how big of a dweeb you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually myself.
What do you guys think of the purpley gray with bright yellow for the sword blade? I think I like it.
I have to move it over to a real monitor. I'm painting my kill team.
Ooh.
Because I don't have anything else to do. It's wild. I like it.
I threw a lot of orange in there to try to liven it up, and I like it. I think I'm gonna heavily weather the chain swords.
Ah, that'd be cool. I'm painting pants.
Something equally as interesting.
Yep. Seems like everyone's on board with the yellow.
Neat. Tristan Lee, do you prefer using metallic paints or doing non-metal metallic or true metal metallic? Usually I like true metal metallic because it's so much easier. Non-metallic metal is, I find non-metallic metal works kind of better on like 32mm miniatures, where you kind of want more control. I feel like 28mm miniatures are small enough where if the gun is just kind of silvery, it's like, oh yeah, that's correct, perfect, finished gun. But on a 72mm, you get a little bit more details in there, and then it's like, okay, well, I can use, you know, highlights and shadows and stuff to make this look like a more interesting thing.
That's kind of my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah. I think sometimes one of the bad things about YouTube is there's so many techniques, there's so much stuff out there. People are really, really great painters and professionals, and then you try to sit down and do it at home, and you're like, it just takes way too long, and maybe the result isn't quite perfect or whatever. But sometimes you just slap a little lead belcher on there, and it's good.
Yeah, and also like whenever you see a pro make a video, that's their 100th time doing that. But then you also need to do it 100 times to get there.
Right. Yeah. Some people need to do it 101 times though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's how you get good at painting Dalmatians.
Exactly. Yeah. I think there almost needs to be a disclaimer. I've done this for a long time.
Disclaimer: this is very hard.
Hard. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a fun way to do tutorials? Like, this is impossible. Let me show you how to do it.
Yep. It took me years. It's gonna take you even longer.
Yeah. it's kind of like every time I read a new a codex, or not a codex, and whenever I read the rules for a game, I read them and I read them and I read them and I read them and I read them, and then I play the game and I barely know what I'm doing. And then right after I finish the game, then I go back and read it and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how it all works.
Right. You kind of need that hands-on experience, I think, first.
Yeah.
Although some people can just read it and be like, yeah, obviously.
It seems that way.
There's someone that we know that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of playing games, we're gonna learn Malifaux tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you know that? That's pretty wild. We're actually gonna play Malifaux.
Woo! Malifaux looks like such a sick game. I tried to look at some videos today, but there's nothing good on YouTube.
Yep.
Not one video.
Yep.
Captain Fry 24.
It's interesting. Well, I was gonna say the person that's gonna teach us said it's very simple. So it's interesting that nobody's made a good video about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think of it so simple, people would just be cranking out videos, just like Warhammer.
Yeah, the ability to teach is very uncommon. Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of videos that say, "Hey, here's how to play Malifaux 3rd Edition," and I think they're all really bad. I almost got through one, but he kept making changes. Like, he's like, now I'm just going to do 6. Now usually you do 6, but I'm just going to do 3 because this is a small game. Now usually you would have 8, but I'm only going to do 1 because it's a small game. Now I'm going to skip turn 1 because usually turn 1 is just movement. And it's like, you can't. You have to do all the things and just, yeah.
That's what I think. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be talking about the winners.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, it is hard to teach. But speaking of that, we're gonna announce the winners.
Yay!
Of the challenge.
I wish this would be great to have a soundboard.
This would be maybe one day.
Yeah, I'll do all the the Foley, right? It's called Foley. It's like noises.
You can be a Foley artist.
That's the applause.
Perfect.
All
right. I'll read out the yeah. Wait a second. Yep. Wait a second. I'm not done. I'm not ready yet. My pants are off.
Hi, Jablin07. Any comments on your favorite kill team so far? Space Marine and Cursors. Oh my gosh, they're basically unfair. It's awesome.
All right. So we're gonna start with the first categories. We're gonna start with the community pick.
Yeah! Boom! Darth Jig with a Chaos Lord Discordant on a Orc mech base.
Yeah.
They did some very cool work with blue stuff, also known as Oyumaru. It's a Japanese toy, and it looked great.
Exactly. Really, really cool.
Taylor, hey, 11 out of 10 production value tonight.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Could you believe that those golden demons with their faces on it is actually what they give out?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. All right. And then we're going to go to the Mad Scientist category.
Boop. 40k guy with his tank precariously set on top of the mountains base? Hills base? Cliffs. Dangerous cliffs base.
Yep. Nailed it.
But he replaced sand-colored tufts with the really cool bright pink alien tufts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this person as well, they tried out a bunch of different things, and they really explained what they tried out and what worked and what didn't work and stuff, so literally perfect. All right, shall I move on to...
Lucky Bat says, Nick, did you do Goldface?
I did. I gave us a little gold. I know it's a little offensive, but I think we can get past it. All right. So we're going to move on to Nick and Jay's top 5. Let's show off the first 2 in this category.
Boom! Mattis with his Belisarius Call, and Power with his Gene Stealer Cult Magus.
Yeah.
And we've got and the bases. It's all about that base. We got the
True.
wood floor base, and we got the cowboy base.
Oh yeah.
Very, very good stuff. On the powers magus, we got a base in a base.
Base into base.
And it might be a little tricky to tell, but on Mad S's Belisarius Call is standing upon a newspaper article that says "Wanted, Games Workshop."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Alrighty, let's move on to the next two.
All right. Boop. Agent Lima with a ice
Glacier bases.
bases and Carmen Commander with a spooky graveyard. Two of my favorite bases, the Glacier base and the Graveyard base.
Mm-hmm.
And two very impressive dioramas.
Yeah, oh yeah. Super duper cool.
We got some Nurgle, and then we got a nice battle in the Arctic. With a whole bunch of like ice zombies or ice golems.
Yeah. Yeah, super fun.
And it looks like in the background you may even be able to see a little bit of the supplies with the, what is that, DAP putty?
Oh, yeah. Neat. And then let's go to the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Boop. Hero Swallower.
Yeah.
Can't be Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. Acid pool base.
Which, the acid pool base has got to be one of the weakest basing videos we have. It's from way back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then this looks far better than what we made in the video.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the video, on the thumbnail, you can actually, yeah. You know, it didn't touch up that base rim. Just, just green sloppily on the side of the base. But, yeah, this is actually really good. Really fun and dynamic.
And some
As
Stormcast
well.
Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the little inclusion of like some little trees or some little like dead plants just poking up.
Exactly.
Metas, are you saying you're going to redo it soon? We already did. We did it great. We did it with 2-part epoxy.
Yeah, and it actually looked good.
And cat litter.
And speaking of looking good, that was the top 5. But who is the ultimate winner?
Dun,
Who's the person that's going to get a surprise?
Dun, 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 blah. Agent Lima!
Woo!
With the ice base extraordinaire. Love those shards of ice sticking right up into the air. It really brings me back to one of my favorite movies, Ice Age. Actually, it's a really good movie.
It is good.
Got that Rusted Root song in it. It's awesome.
But there you go. Well, congratulations, Agent Lima. You should send us a message on Discord, and we're going to figure out a prize for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pop a confetti popper right into the mic. I wish I had one.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Congratulations, Agent Lima.
Yep.
And congratulations to everyone. Everything was really, really good. It was really hard to pick the top.
It always is. It always comes down to us arguing, yelling at each other, spanking each other. I don't know why I added that part. I shouldn't have, but yeah, it's wild. But we did it. And now we're gonna go over the next challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, just unprivate all of it.
Odie man, my friend looks like the Sid from Ice Age. I knew somebody who looked just like Sid from Ice Age.
Yeah, that's never good.
Badass Icicles and Carl Urban. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be starting Eons of Challenges number 5, which is called Nothing But Nature. So it starts today. It ends November 14th, and at exactly 11:59. There you go. Anything later will not be accepted. This paint challenge is all about getting away from angles and armor and reconnecting with nature. Select a model that is natural. Animals, people, elves, dwarves, carnivorous plants. Models that are all about Earth with no laser swords or machine guns in sight. You can use whatever colors and supplies you want, but make sure the model conveys an outdoors feel. The countryside, mountains, streams, valleys, puddles, dirt. If you are a sci-fi fanatic, this would be a good time to look at Age of Sigmar, Conquest, or other fantasy games. And some examples: a dragon in a meadow, a bard crossing a stream, a lion on a rock. Use your imagination, but stay on theme. The great outdoors are calling. So let's stay inside and recreate with plastic and resin. And of course, as always, kit bashing is allowed. Give your model a name. And this model should be testing grounds, try out new stuff. And pretty much the same as always. Show us your exploration, take photos during the basing and painting process, give us a little write-up about what you learned. Work in progress photos, of course. And then, let's see, anything new with this one? Oh yeah, we're bringing back the best based category for the prizes. So we're going to do Best Based Mad Scientist and Community Pick. And then, of course, we'll do another Top 5. And we'll announce the winners on Saturday, November 20th during that live stream.
Yeah, and then you too may be featured on a stream.
This is very true.
Gyropathic. What about crossbows? I'll allow crossbows. Captain Fry 24, bring out the Sylvaneth armies. Nope, no tree army. Not allowed. Too sci-fi. Man, do Poxwalkers count as nature? I feel like some of them do, but the Poxwalkers are wearing a lot of pants and tubes, and they're I would say the Age of Sigmar Nurgle guys would be a much better pick because they don't like carry wrenches and guns. TT Gentry, I already know what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
Sir Monstein, I'm painting 9 wild woods right now. Lucky Bat, a lion on a rock, a bard on a rock, a dragon on a rock, rock on a rock, the Rock, Dwayne the Rock. Matthew Michelaznian, Nids on Nids. Nids, you know what? That'd be a really good 40k pick for a.
That would be.
I know. I was thinking there's not a lot of 40k models that would really fit the bill. There's a couple, maybe the monsters from, the Dark Elves, the Dark Eldar, like the Urgles, the Razorwing Flocks, the ones that are just rip-offs of the D&D monster. The Chimeras. But other than that, there's not a lot. Maybe a Jakaro if you kind of play down their robotic eye. Iron Frenzy 217. If I have Swarmlord in a list, does it need to be the HQ? I think so. Dancing of Doom. Hey, Jay and Nick, would a rusted, overgrown aircraft diorama work? I think it would. That sounds like that would convey an outdoorsy nature.
Yeah, I guess if the plane isn't the main focus.
Yeah, if it's all about the nature.
Yeah.
Kid and Kinip. How often do you guys put out challenges?
They're basically almost always going. We only ever have them not going when we're tallying up the votes. Usually we have like 6 days of tallying the votes, so it's every month at least.
And it takes 6 days. It's 6 days of non-stop.
Oh yeah, the ballots.
We're counting those votes. We're recounting. We're stuffing the ballot boxes.
I think actually, let's see. I think this one was our worst performer in terms of voting. Because nobody wanted their voice being heard, which is rude.
It's your civic duty.
I know. No, it's on par. It's on par with the other ones. Daniel Bear, and this is run on Discord. Yep. And our Discord link is in the description, so you can just join on to that Discord.
And there is prizes for the overall winner.
Yep, for the ultimate winner, you get a prize.
And you also, I mean, you might get your name brought up and your model brought up in a video, in this video, like in the next one.
Live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do give you a special role, so you can tower over people in the Discord server. Aaron Ferguson, would Seraphon fit?
Yeah, absolutely, Seraphon would fit. I don't know. I guess maybe Kharadron Overlords wouldn't fit, just because most of them aren't even on the ground. They're floating above the nature.
I would say that they wouldn't fit. Ricardo Soto. Hi, this is my first time watching live. I'm looking to get into war mini painting, but I was wondering what was a good place to start? New box stuff or 3D printed stuff? Any opinions?
I mean, if you own a 3D printer, 3D printing is a good place to start, but you probably don't if you're just starting.
Yeah, probably get a box of something.
Yeah, I would say just get a box of whatever seems cool to you. No matter if it's Age of Sigmar or 40k or whatever, and maybe take it from there. I mean, I guess it depends if you're thinking you're gonna really, really like the painting and collecting, or if you think you're gonna like the gaming. Tristan Lee, would Kroot work? You know, I think Kroot would work. Yep. They do have guns, but they're like wearing rags, and they're very like, I think they're all about nature and getting back to their roots and cannibalism.
Getting back to their Kroots.
Yeah, Kroots and shoots.
Kroots and shoots.
Yeah, you guys are bringing up. I just was like, I couldn't think of any 40k models. You guys are thinking of all of them.
Yeah, like Space Marines. No, Space Marines.
Yeah.
Eldar. No. Yeah.
Tau. No.
Yeah, we didn't even think of any of the.
No.
Anything. Yeah. Yeah. That's always how it is.
Mm-hmm. I saw today that Games Workshop showed off that they have grass tufts now. I think they used to have grass tufts too. It looks like you don't get much.
Interesting. Did they come up with new stuff this week?
Yeah, they came out with some sort of a game. Like a box game.
Okay.
Like, with cards and tokens, and it looks like no fun.
Guess it wasn't cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure
Okay.
some people like board games. Like just proper contains board games.
I mean, besides Space Hulk, do they make anything else that's fun? I mean, Lost Patrol's fun, but not with the rules.
Yeah, you have to change all the rules.
So, yeah, it's a little rough, I would say.
Huh?
I need to look at this.
Badass. I'm gonna use a statue from a terrain model. Ooh, that's a good pick. Yeah, I feel like a terrain would probably work really well for this one.
Oh yeah, I've seen what this is.
Yeah, it does come with some cool Stormcast and Cruel Boy models.
Yeah, because they were teasing this the other day, and I was like, oh, the Cruel Boy stuff's cool, but I don't know what the hell this game is, and I don't want to learn. Oh yeah, I see these tufts.
I'm sure they'll be very competitively priced, right?
Yep.
In one interesting case, the Army Painter tufts I feel like are also a little pricey. I feel like the best tufts I've ever gotten were from Gamergrass. You really do get a lot for your money with Gamergrass.
You get 42 of them for green, and then you get a bunch of dead corpse grass. That's what they're calling it. Oh wait, it says these packs of 125 grass stuffs. So I guess maybe the picture's lying, because there's not that many in there.
Yeah, I just looked at the pictures.
Yeah, I did too, and then I read the words. Remember, you know how we always get got by reading the words.
So I have some stuff right here. It's from Green Stuff World. So let's see.
Oh, and we're also dumb because you can pre-order these now. So we can see the price.
Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. About, I probably missed a few, probably 45 to 50.
Okay.
I got right in here. So, I believe this was $5. It's kind of pricey.
So, you get 125 tufts. How much do you think it costs?
$10?
It's 15.
Oh my goodness. See, the tricky thing, so these are kind of the tufts I think we're all familiar with. I believe these are usually called 6mm grass tufts. And I always find these just a bit too big. They may be talking about 2mm grass tufts, which that's what these are. And so it looks like these you do get quite a few more.
So
2, 4.
What they do. So this pack contains 125 grassy tufts split as follows. They don't give any dimensions. So it says 48 small round, 35 large round, 24 rectangular rounded ends, and 18 crescents. Miniatures displayed in images are for scale purposes only and are not included with this product. Could you believe that?
Interesting. I don't know if that's a deal or not.
I mean, 125 sounds like a lot.
22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40.
This is the counting stream?
44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60.
Everyone type numbers that confuses him.
So this right here, so each one has like 70. So this is 140 grass tufts right here.
For $5?
For $5. Granted, they're all small 2mm ones. You don't get a variety, but I mean, it seems to make Games Workshop's thing look bad.
Interesting. So how many are we gonna buy?
Oh yeah, we'll buy him out completely.
A bunch of people were typing numbers to confuse you, which I appreciate.
Zephyr Gamergrass small packs have 144 tufts from what the packaging says. That sounds about right. 144, and I think it's $6. $6 for a pack of Gamergrass tufts.
Yeah, but they're not Citadel.
Yeah, so they're not good. I've used Green Stuff World. I think some random company, a model railroad company, Army Painter, and Gamergrass. And they're I think Gamergrass is the best stuff I've used. I've been the most impressed with them. They're just like more quality grass. Ryan, what do you think of the Games GGW Games Workshop Outlanders for Necromunda? Or Good Game W Outlanders for Necromunda?
Maybe that was a mistake.
I don't know what the Outlanders for Necromunda are. Is that a new thing?
I barely know what Necromunda is.
Annie Crimson, I'd love to have a rusted military tank overrun with vegetation, contrasting against a fantasy druid unaware of what it was. That does sound cool.
That would be awesome.
Iron Frenzy 217. I got it. Custodes. Yes, Custodes obviously are very natural and nature.
Yep.
Herandorio, Agent Lima's diorama looks like a Skyrim game. Gyropathic, GW's modeling stuff, half the stuff of others for twice the price. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Vampy, what if I made a dead space marine entangled in nature? I don't know about sci-fi stuff. Like somehow a tank from our world feels more natural than a space marine, or a jet bike.
Mm-hmm.
Harley Anderson, it's the new series of Warhammer Underworlds. I love Warhammer Underworlds, but unhappy with the price increase for this season. Oh, okay, interesting. So it goes by seasons.
Yeah.
That has chills.
I heard the game is fun. I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
The crew boys in it look really cool.
Victor Hugo Bittencourt Silva. Gamergrass is my favorite as well. Yeah, I really like Gamergrass. I think I'll keep getting that stuff.
You hear that, Gamergrass?
Yeah.
We'll show for you.
We will.
No, we're doing it for free right now.
Gyropathetic. Personally, I can't wait to get my Black Templar box. I wonder if I can find some different heads for the models without helmets. I'm one of the people that don't like the hair. I get not liking the hair, but I really like the historical significance of the haircuts. I think it's a really nice touch for the Black Templar.
And I bet there will be plenty of heads and faces that you can get that people will make.
Mm-hmm.
And there's already a ton out there.
Sean, would watercolor paints work for washes? Really want to try this? Please advise. I don't know. I I bet you'd have problems with it adhering to the model.
Yeah, because it's kind of fur. It adheres to paper well.
Yeah, it adheres to very porous paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But give it a try. Who knows?
I think watercolors are cheap. So might as well try it.
Madness. And now I am perusing Gamergrass. Darn you, Jay! John Caffrey. I'm surprised given the mounting evidence that dislikes do more to suppress a channel algorithm-wise that then was previously realized it may be something to consider. I don't know, everything I've seen shows that they are exactly the same as likes. Like, I've seen people I've seen people test out theories where they have multiple channels and they publish, a video with a dislike versus publishing a video with no interaction, and the one with the dislike gets presented first. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, give me a link to the evidence, but...
Our channel has never been more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And these streams have never been more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think they'd be more popular.
Zach H. Well, geez, I spent $20 to make a static grass applicator and have been making my own tufts for years. Thrifty am I. That's pretty thrifty.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we watched tutorials on how to do that.
Mm-hmm. And it looked like a giant pain in the butt.
Yep.
To get something of inferior quality.
Whoa! Yeah. Very true. I wouldn't have the patience to do it.
Also, you still have to buy all of the, you still have to buy the flock.
That's true, but I think buying it in bulk, you can get it's not very much money. I guess
For sure,
you're
but
facing an entire army.
Like I probably have
armies.
10 different colors of tufts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it depends on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just tufting with one color, I mean, tuft away.
Mm-hmm. And Ferguson, do Stormcasts work? I think Stormcasts would work, but you'd have to find a little extra way to nature them up. I know, like Casey at eBay Miniature Rescue, he made his Stormcast look like stone with like grass growing on them. That could be a good way to nature them up. Matt McCallan, how about Catachan? I think Catachan would also work, but it's gotta be about the nature. It can't just be a Catachan on a grass base. I mean, I guess it can be, but it won't win. But if it was like a Catachan wandering through like spiky plants, that'd be super, super cool. Random J painting. So wait, if orcs are actually plants, if Tyranids eat them, are they considered vegetarians? I think they'd be considered vegetarians for that meal. I'm a vegetarian for every meal that doesn't have meat in it.
Exactly.
Odie Man, I'm the CEO of Gamergrass. Actually, if you guys give me a small donation of $5,000, I will send you a press kit of our new and improved Gamergrass. Sweet!
Perfect.
Finally, we've hit the big time.
Yes. Exactly. There was somebody doing this for like they were doing this to comedians. They would message like a not like a super popular comedian, but like people kind of beginning their careers. And they would say like, yeah, so you give me your whatever information, and I have this gig lined up for you. You just come here, you do the gig, and we'll give you this money or whatever. but eventually it's just like the scam to get people's, Venmo or something crazy, and they like they give you the money, but then they do something weird with the refund, and they're able to get all of their money back, but you're not. They're able to get more money out of the transaction than not. It's some weird thing.
Well, it sounds like they probably like steal your information and get access to your accounts.
No, but it's not. It's not even that. It's like they write a check to you. You deposit the check, and then they somehow get the money back from that. And then you're left in the hole. I don't know how it works. It's some odd stuff.
Yeah, it does sound pretty next level.
Yeah.
You'd think it's not that hard to steal from comedians.
No. But a lot of people were falling into the trap. And so people are like, don't do gigs that people just offer you randomly. Diotus, what is a good way to find inspiration for a Space Marine color scheme?
There's a great video called The Periodic Table of Space Marines. It's a very short animation, under 2 minutes, where if you know the Tom Lear song, the elements, yeah, there are beryllium and helium and hydrogen and oxygen and that song, but it's Space Marines. The channel's pretty cool too. The publisher.
Yep. I think we've talked to them a couple times.
But yeah, it's a really cool video, and so it's just rapid fire Space Marines, well over 100 different Space Marine chapters, and they're illustrated, so that you get pictures of all the different Space Marines.
Yep.
It's a really cool video. I think it came out a little over a year ago.
Yeah, and yeah, the channel has what, a couple million subscribers now? Or...
I think it's somewhere in the 60s. You know, they're doing okay.
Nice. Wow.
Till you die from it. Follow me on TikTok.
Mandy D, there's also a big poster that has a ton of them. I chose Hawk Lords like that.
Neat.
Yep. Those are every once in a while you'll be watching a YouTube video and you'll see somebody have that
yeah,
poster.
I don't know where they get it. I mean, they have one at the local game store.
Yeah.
So they literally must come from somebody got it from a Games Workshop.
Maybe you steal it.
Or you just like, you know the owner pretty well, and he's like, I got like 10 of these. You're like, can I have one? He's like, yeah, but don't tell anybody. Or maybe it's available from the weird art print website that Games Workshop has.
Do they have like do they have a website where all of their websites are on it?
Yeah, how many people knew that there's an official Games Workshop art print website?
Yeah.
Literally, you'd never ever know. I don't know how I found out.
I don't know either.
They keep that under wraps.
And all of their games have a separate website.
They do.
But the funny thing is, if you search Warhammer 40k, Games Workshop is the one that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Not
other none of those other ones.
Yeah. So I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan S. Tips. Pear.
It is a pear. Thanks, Ryan S.
Yeah.
I like that he's got a sweatband. He's been
Is he
working out.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's just. I think he's ROFL, rolling on floor laughing.
Oh, that doesn't show up for me for some reason.
Oh, there was no letters for me either. I just made it up.
Oh, you. Oh.
I think that is what this is representing.
Oh. I love a good pear.
Jennifer
goodness
Perryman, Jay, what paints or paint sets do you recommend for someone wanting to start getting Army Painter paints? I don't know. I mean, Army Painter probably makes some pretty good sets. I'd say get something small. Don't like buy the whole range, because yeah, I mean you don't even know if you like the paint, or if you don't know if you'll like every color. Like usually, if you buy a color from a company and it's like a green and it just sucks, it's usually that all of their greens will suck. So I like to buy one at a time, and I like to try out a lot of different brands. And then I kind of find the stuff I like. I really like Games Workshop reds. I like Vallejo blues. I like P3 yellows, although I might shop for a different yellow.
Are you cheating on them?
The brightest yellow I don't like as much as their other yellows, and I feel like the brightest yellow is kind of the make or break yellow.
Ryan S., you guys work hard. Just want to give you pears.
Yeah. The pears show you cares.
Yeah, but I know. I think we both have the starter set for Army Painter.
Yeah. I'm okay with Army Painter paints. Some of them, I like their washes. I like their metallics. I don't really like any of their colors. Although, weirdly, their yellow has surprisingly good coverage. Although it's a little bit green, I've noticed. Whenever I use Army Painter yellow, I always feel like the end product is slightly green. Although, I guess that's usually just any yellow going over any color, any darker color. Yeah, yellows are usually a very, very tricky paint. If you buy like real artist yellows, they'll often be more expensive because the material it takes to produce yellow is pricier than other colors.
It's made from lemons.
Mm-hmm.
Till you die from it tips. Pear dropping a mic. Hashtag mic drop.
Yeah. Oh, they all have sweatbands. I guess that's just their thing.
Yeah.
Tristan Lee, I wanted to put Blood Angel successor chapters in my army, but they're literally all just Blood Angels, but with different colored shoulder pads. Yeah, I mean, that's what a successor chapter is.
Daniel Bear. Trying to paint yellow almost put me off painting entirely as a youngin'.
Yeah. Christian Hosking, what wet palette do you use? I use the Mastersons. It's the cheap $10 wet palette you can get on Amazon. Works great. I mean, it's basically just a shallow rectangle. I really like it. It totally gets the job done. It's basically a plate
with a lid on it.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely no frills. Real cheap. I didn't really like the palette paper it came with, so I just used parchment paper. But that's perfectly fine.
Dustin Zachariah, Lamenters are red yellow with checkers.
Mm-hmm.
Or are yellow.
They're yellow, yeah. They're yellow, and they also can have red and green on them.
This is true. Yeah. Jeez. When do you think you'll paint a Lamenter?
I don't know if I'll ever paint a Lamenter. They look hard.
Jeez.
GeForce Member 55. Honestly, airbrushing yellow is really the only way I can stand the color. Yeah, brushing on yellow is usually a recipe for misery. Till you die from it, all paints just require a proper base. I mean, yes, but a lot of paints can handle not having a proper base. Weirdly, dark colors seem to go on great without a base. Sometimes light colors seem to work well without a base. But often light colors really, really suffer when they don't have a proper base.
Are you saying that it's all about that base?
Mm-hmm. Not so average Joe. Painting my frost-themed custodians right now. It's fairly easy, but my dry brush hates me. Thankfully, I only have to paint 20 models. Yep, that's the great thing about custodies. I want to get custodians, especially because they're overpowered in Kill Team.
But not as much anymore because
I
they
guess
took away
not.
that activation.
They did. They dropped a whole activation. It's crazy. Andy Crimson Tips. Happy little celebrating pair.
Woo!
Thanks, Andy. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Pairs, pairs, pairs.
Tristan Lee, I've already got a Lamenter. He's dead on a base of another Marine.
I mean, that's lore accurate.
Mm-hmm. Manny D, Army Painter Moon Dust Yellow looks really yellow and bright. I haven't had issues applying it. Ooh, let's see which yellow do I have.
I have yellow.
Is it not going to be where it's supposed to be? It's not. Is it out on my table? It is. I have Demonic Yellow, and it's fine.
Interesting.
Brent George, painting yellow tip, use a pink base coat, works wonders. Interesting. Does that affect the color of the yellow? Harley Davidson, may I ask a very important question? No.
No questions.
No questions. What do you think this is?
Yeah. We just monologue for too long, and you watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, these ladies are getting a little bit close.
Yeah.
The paint, I've got their chainswords done, I've got their skin done, I have their clothing done. Just got to work on all the little bells and whistles and decorations. Which there are a few.
They have whistles?
They do have whistles. Kazoos, train whistles.
Wow, that's pretty cool. If I was to make a noise marine army, I would have like trombones on the bases.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff.
What's great is that, and I think this is almost why it's taken so long for Slaanesh stuff to come out for 40k, but that's Slaanesh. Like, Noise Marines are Slaanesh.
Yeah.
But they feel so wildly different from Slaanesh demons.
Right.
And so it seems like for, mostly Games Workshop has just been ignoring the problem, because it's really hard to deal with it. Although they've been doing a really good job for Age of Sigmar. Although Age of Sigmar, they kind of got to redo everything. They didn't have a lot of legacy stuff hanging on, like 40k has.
Yeah, they should just throw everything out. 40k end times.
40k end times! Let's do it!
The Tyranids ate everything. All right, let's start all over again.
Mm-hmm. Till you die from it. I would love a Sister's Army, but I'm not prepared to shell out the cheddar. Yeah, they're very pricey. Because they're very new. All their stuff's new.
Do you need a lot of models to start a Sister's model? An army?
Not as many as some, but it's not an elite army.
Yeah.
like probably 2 boxes of Sisters, a box of Repentia, maybe a vehicle or 2, the Shooty Squad, the Flying Squad, maybe a squad of those Sisters of Battle in the war suits, the Paragon war suits. I really like the look of their Battle Force box, the patrol detachment. The only problem is it comes with those silly 3, the 3 whatchamacallits, the robo guys with the whip hands. Gosh, I'm blanking on their name, but you get 3, which is not enough. It's a little bit frustrating. If it came with 5, that'd be perfect. And I guess if you buy 2 boxes, which you might, because it's a pretty darn good deal, you get enough to make a squad of 5 with an extra. It was just an odd decision. It seems like that box was originally made just to be a weird Sister of Battle like taster for the people who've been waiting on Sisters of Battle for 25 years. And then they were like, hey, we have this great, really dense sprues that are packed with Sisters of Battle. Maybe we would just release this stuff. And it mostly worked really well, except for the 3 Arcoflagellants. I think Zephyr. Jennifer Perryman, have you heard of the Fire Team Box board game? No.
Fire Team Box. Here, folks. Another burp water. This stream is sponsored by Bubbly Sparkling Water.
Daniel Bear, are you guys a fan of the Metroid series? I've just picked up the new game, and I'm loving it. Samus's design is 10 out of 10. I never played. I know what it is, though.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I also know what it is.
Mandy D, I'm just starting a Sister's Army. I had like 500 points already. I had for Kill Team, the previous edition, so I'm not too far. Yeah, with old Kill Team, you had to have like, okay, you want like 1 of these, and 2 of these, and 2 of these, and 1 of these, and it was a little bit of a mess. New Kill Team is a lot better. Although some armies, they still they're still, you need some stuff like Tau. You can totally get away with 1 box, but you have options to take kind of a lot of stuff. I think the only armies like that are Tau, Kroot. There was another one. It was Tau, Kroot, yeah, and Greenskins, where you can swap models for other models. With Greenskins, you can swap boys for Gretchen. With Tau, you can swap Pathfinders and Fire Warriors for drones. And for Kroot, you can swap Kroot with Kroot Hounds. Most other armies are just, you get what's in the box.
Interesting. Till you die from it, your paint style works well with painting multiple models.
Sorta. I mean, it's taken a long time. I think when if I ever paint a second squad of these, I'm gonna try oils because the skin took forever. Till you die from it, just bought the Octeris Kill Team. Sweet! Kill Team is so much fun! Manny D, it's cheaper on eBay and Amazon. The Combat Patrol is $140 on Games Workshop's website, but it's like $105, $119 on other sites. Yeah, it's probably $119 on most places because that would be 15%. But then if you get it a little lower, I mean, now you're getting into the really good stuff. 20% off.
half off.
Half off.
For free.
Theft. Just steal it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I think that's what we should start doing. Is we should just start stealing.
There you go.
That's what we'll do. Games Workshop, if you're not going to send us anything, we'll just steal it. There you go. We'll put that out there. We're going to be the anti-shills.
Tristan Lee, I want a Halo miniatures game. I think that exists.
Don't you have one of the Halo miniatures?
I don't have any Halo minis. I've got Fallout.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Fallout stuff.
I was thinking of the what is it? The Power Armor Fallout guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
what I was
Power
thinking.
Armor Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love Fallout. Fallout is one of my favorite games. It might be Fallout New Vegas might be my favorite video game. I love it so much. I think these things on their arms were meant to be made of leather, because I want to see this. I want to say this one's wrinkling a little.
I have that with these commandos. The hell is this?
But you know what? I'm just gonna say it's a Wonder Woman bullet blocking armbands. Because everybody knows that if you shoot at Wonder Woman, you shoot her right in the wrist, or the corset, or the miniskirt. Don't aim anywhere else. I really liked the first Wonder Woman movie. It was actually really good. Except the ending was pretty bad. It really felt like they had like forced an ending, because the movie wraps up great, and then there's just a weird final boss fight in like the middle of an abandoned field that doesn't matter.
GeForce Member 45. 10 minutes later, the Games Workshop kill teams break in both Jay and Nick's place, and takes them away, never to be seen again.
Oh no, we're gonna get G-Dub swatted.
I mean, that is literally what people thought when we left the first time.
It is.
Which is pretty fun. Because we did that prop video,
mm-hmm.
and we were like, oh, we might sell some of these things, and then we stopped making videos, and then people were like, oh my god, Games Workshop must have got them.
Yep. Which was true. No, it wasn't true. Till you die from it. Ew, New Vegas. New Vegas is the best one. Why, do you like the weird, geometric old ones? Troll Child XY. I love Fallout so much. I have a Fallout tattoo on my leg. Fallout, Fable, KOTOR, pretty much my top 3 in that order. Troll Child XY, specifically Fallout 1 and 2. Yeah, I never played 1 and 2. I'm sure they're just so old. I don't know if I can handle games like that.
Yeah. Old games only work if you played them when you were like a kid, or like when you were younger. I feel like it's hard to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like if like I have like little cousins, right? And if I showed them, or no, like they're a little older now. I have some that are older. If I showed them Red Alert, they'd be like, "What the hell's this? This is dumb." Because I think if I showed my little cousins, they'd think it's awesome because they don't know. But my older cousins would be like, "What the hell's this? I can
like this isn't Fortnite."
Yeah, I don't get it. But, yeah.
Odie man, I always think Jay is older than me, but saying New Vegas over Fallout 2 means you are eternally younger than me. Fallout 2 is nuts. Manny D, doesn't matter where you aim, the sexiness attracts bullets, and yeah, the CGI fest at the end sucked. What was great about it, though, is it felt so tacked on, because literally, like, the movie wraps up with the point of the movie. It's like, oh yeah, war is bad, and humans kind of suck sometimes, but we're all gonna work really hard to try to make things better. And then you're like, oh no, it's actually just the god of war who was controlling everything the whole time.
Great.
And literally, she defeats the god of war, and then that was the moment World War One ended. And everyone just wakes up and they're like, huh? Uh-oh. We were fighting?
Amazing.
Monty. Hey guys, just wanted to say your channel is an inspiration to me. Ah!
Sweet.
I only want to watch it. Only like 10% of property crimes are solved. Stealing is a lucrative way to build an army. Nice.
You heard it here, folks.
Haley Anderson. Fallout New Vegas is the best modern Fallout. It's not really comparable to the classic games because they're so radically different in style. Yeah, I mean, going from like an isometric to like grid-based game to an open world. That's a pretty jarring change.
I don't know. Sounds almost the same. They're pretty similar.
Man, and literally, like, Fallout New Vegas has just, like, I mean, it's side quest the game, really, but God, there's so much in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first time I played the mission Come Fly With Me, incredible.
Dustin Zachariah, Red Alert rocks. To me, that'll never get old. Diablo 2 is the pinnacle of computer gaming. I played Diablo 3. It's not. That one isn't, at least. I heard I've seen the Diablo 2 remastered, and I saw a lot of ads for it, and it sparked some interest, but I'm not gonna play it.
Oh, you know what game really got me? I'm still working my way through Darkwood. I think I'm getting close to beating it, but God, that game puts me in like a funk because, and I can only play like one night at a time, but it's like freaky and scary and spooky. And I always, whenever I'm playing games, I always play as the good guy, as a good character. It's a little bit of a role-playing game. You talk to people, you make decisions, and then I found out all of my decisions were bad. And I was like, oh no!
Like
I'm the baddie!
Oh, I see.
It's so messed up. It's so messed up. I'm like, I was just trying to survive.
Yeah, but you were surviving off of like baby blood or something?
Yeah. Oh, if it was just that, it would have been fine. Sam Kitts. Jim Cummins, the guy who voices Winnie the Pooh, voices the master from the first Fallout game. Huh.
Interesting. That's an interesting body of work, I would say. Mandy D, Red Alert 2 has the best cinematics. Oh my god. When you play the campaign, their cutscenes have real actors in it. Because they weren't going to be good enough if they would CGI stuff. So they actually had real actors play it, and it's just wild. It's
nice.
Pretty wild. It's horrible acting, but it's funny and it's weird and awesome. It's really hilarious.
Odie Man, I worked in 3D and I met a guy who worked with the creative director of New Vegas. He says the game would have been amazing if they had given them just one more year to develop. So much scrapped stuff. That's what I heard. I heard that they really did have to rush it out, and apparently, like, when the game launched, it was an absolute mess, and they had to patch everything. But I mean, it's still a beloved game, even being so rushed. So yeah, it really is too bad that there's not that we didn't get to see what it truly could have been. What's amazing though is even the rush job they did is literally hundreds and hundreds of quests, and a lot of the quests interact, and they have multiple ways to complete them. And like when you're talking to people, you're not just exhausting options. Like there's different branching chains of conversations. Because I played the game multiple times, and if you say different things, then things just change and are different.
Yeah, it sounds like they barely tried.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Bear, have you seen Internet Historian's video on Fallout 76? OMG. Isn't Fallout 76 the new one? I mean, presumably Internet Historian probably doesn't just cover old stuff. Yeah, making Fallout like a game that you play with friends in an online setting seems like a kind of a weird choice.
Yeah, because people that play Fallout don't have any friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I implied that you don't have any friends.
Mm-hmm. I love in Fallout New Vegas, you start out in the town, and there's 2 roads out of town. And if you take one road, you will die. Because there's just Cazadors everywhere, and you will die. I just love that. I love that like half of people playing the game probably died. And we're like, why? Why can't I go this way?
But
Troll Child XY, so true. Fallout New Vegas was developed by Black Isle Studios, which and it literally came from Interplay Entertainment, the original creators of Fallout 1 and 2, so of course it's the best modern Fallout. Wow. I also think it's just the best world. Like, I know Fallout 4, which I own, and I'll probably like it when I own a computer that can run it. I'll probably like it, but Boston just seems like such a boring location compared to like Nevada and Las Vegas. Like just the dusty kind of wild westiness just seems so awesome. Who wants to play in post-apocalyptic Boston with just like trees and stuff and water?
yeah. Yeah. Odie, man, people who live in Boston don't even want to fly in Boston.
Tristan Lee should make a Fallout set in Australia. Wait, they already did that as a movie. Oh, Mad Max. Not so average Joe. Bethesda is hella mad that they got bought by Microsoft. Now they actually have to finish their games before they release them. You know what always blows me away is like the Steam, you can play a game before it's done.
Yeah.
But then like I bought Factorio for like $5 because the game wasn't done yet, and now it's $30, and it's probably worth $30.
No.
But you don't think it's worth $30?
I guess it is. I mean, it's worth $1 million because people spend a lot of time on the games and stuff and whatever. But I would not buy it if it was $30.
That's the really hard thing with games.
Because it's really, really fun. I really, really like it. But if I saw that for $30, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy this.
Because like what makes the 2021 version of Battlefield that's different from the 2000 version of Battlefield worth like $80?
Yeah, exactly.
And like you can buy you can buy the best games ever made for nothing.
Right.
Like I have 100,000 hours in Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, and I bought it on Steam for $1.
Right. I mean, I remember I don't know how much it is now. Or maybe it's this price now. I remember Terraria was $20, and even for me then, I was like, oh, $20. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's an indie game. I don't know if I care that much.
Yeah.
Obviously, the indie people deserve the money more than the studios.
Yeah, their game should cost more money.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it all depends. But I don't know.
I think FTL was $10. And I mean, I got my money's worth. Oh boy.
That's about but that's about right.
Yeah.
Martin Neal, I think the sort of person who wants to optimize conveyor belts will pay $30 for the privilege. Yeah, because we bought it. We got it. How do we even figure out the game existed?
I saw a trailer for it. I don't know how I saw the trailer, but it was a good trailer too.
It was a good trailer.
I think I must have heard someone talk about it in a video. Like maybe some video was like my favorite games of my
favorite game barely exists. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it is a really, really, really fun game.
It is really fun.
I mean, it's no Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, but and like Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds from 2005 is better than whatever the new thing is, Star Wars Battlefront 2. But Battlefront 2 is worth more because it's newer. I probably bought the CD-ROM for like $13 way back in the day.
Martin Neal, the Factorio trailer is extremely good and accurate to the dream experience of Factorio.
It is.
Yep.
Not so average Joe. Hollow Knight is $15 and is easily worth $60. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you own a game and love it, it's worth any amount of money. But it's tricky because it wasn't worth that when you're browsing Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Doomslayer, do you think there's a market to stop making new games and just really keep supporting classics that people have moved on from? Some old games have lots of love and fan support compared to AAA games. Don't they do that every now and then? They'll kind of like remaster a game.
Yeah, Blizzard does that because they don't have anything going on. They do that a lot, but yeah. I don't know. I wonder though who else does a lot of remasters.
Yeah, I wonder if the danger is people will just keep playing the way they've been playing, and not buy it again.
Yeah.
Because like I'll love New Vegas with its current crap graphics and crashing all the time forever. Although if they made a new version, I'd buy it instantly. But
Exactly. I mean, I know that there's a Red Alert 3. It exists. I don't know if it's any fun. I know I couldn't run on my computer when I was younger, so I couldn't play it. I didn't have a good enough computer. I remember they made a Red Alert. They made a Red Alert RTS game for the phone, and I remember I bought it. I think it was $1.99, and it sucked. You can't play RTSs on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Troll Child XY. Honestly, I am actually opposed to the remastering of games, remaking from the ground up. Maybe because remake them from the ground up. Maybe because I don't want to play a prettier version of the game if it's still buggy. And see, that's the tricky thing is like, what do you should probably keep everything exactly the same, right? Because if you start making changes, you might actually damage the game. Because maybe some of the mess is kind of what made it great.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there was a bunch of people saying that they should, or maybe there was a remastering of what's the shooty? What's the dumb shooty games? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and people were talking all about what they wanted, and they're like, let's finally balance all the guns, and let's get rid of this gun that's too good and that gun that's too good. And I think the fact that almost every gun was way overpowered is kind of what made the game great. The noob tubes and the akimbo P90s, and I think if you actually balanced it, it would make it a different game. And if you fixed all the flaws with the maps, and if you made all the corrections, it would kind of not be what it was.
Right.
So why remaster it? And speaking of glitches, I have to go pee.
It's a peak glitch. Dustin Zachariah, OG Command & Conquer and Red Alert were remastered and released as a double pack about a year ago. Red Alert 3 actually had real stars like Tim Curry and J.K. Simmons for its cinematic cutscenes. Was Red Alert 3 fun? I just never had a chance to play. I know I had to get actually this was like probably a couple years ago. I dual booted my Mac so that I could run Red Alert 2 on my computer because I had that feeling that I need to play it. Randos, quick, Nick, swap the sister for a jeans dealer. See if Jay notices. He won't notice. He won't even know. Martin Neal, the Command & Conquer remaster, runs on the original engine with an extra layer added to support the new 4K graphics. Same bugs as the original. Troll Child XY, talk about Jay behind his back. Do we get to discuss his glorious hair that I'm honestly kind of jealous of?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's back.
Anybody in the chat play Darkwood? It's really good. If you want to be spooked.
Dustin Zachariah. Yeah, Red Alert 3 is worth playing. Well, one day maybe. There's too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stop making games and movies
Mm-hmm.
and TV. Don't make anything anymore.
Good. Yeah. That way, then I can catch up.
You still. I feel like. I mean, there's so much stuff you wouldn't even be able to.
No. Yeah, I mean they've put out so many more Marvel things. Actually, not so many. I guess all the TV shows. I heard WandaVision was great. I heard Loki was great. Adepta was great. And it's all good. Oh my goodness! I just did not paint the underside of this person's hand. And you know what? Maybe that's fine.
Well, that's rude to the hand. Talk to the hand.
Stuck to the hand.
Odie man, I hope Jay washes hands, or else these Repentia will have 4 things to repent about.
Oh my god.
Now there's pee all over them.
Mm-hmm.
I have this very distinct memory of we went to Six Flags Great America with my uncle, and I don't know why. I guess their bathrooms don't have soap or water. I don't know why.
They don't have. Are you sure you were in a bathroom?
I don't know why that would be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I took a piss, and I was a kid like a really young kid. And I was like, yeah, there's nowhere to wash your hands. He's like, did you pee on your hands? And I said, no. He's like, you're fine then.
Yep. That's a Carlin bit too. I think he goes, I only wash my hands when I shit on them.
But I always think about that.
I know there was
So
plenty of times in architecture when I would use the bathroom and there was no soap or paper towel because literally every single day the soap and the paper towel get used up because there was no bathrooms in that building.
Yeah.
And so after a certain hour, there's just no more.
Especially with the paper towels and stuff, because people would use them for their projects and stuff. Or, they'd be painting something, or they'd use it for other purposes. I always felt like the custodian staff were not able to keep up with the amount of garbage and crap.
Yeah.
that people would be.
Honestly,
making.
I didn't see much of the custodian staff.
Yeah, well, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, people leave this as a giant mess, and it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I mean, the amount. I don't know. Yeah.
They're probably not paid enough to deal with it.
No. Nope.
So like twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, we had. I remember some of the last days of Architecture Studio, throwing models against the wall, throwing them on the ground. Yeah.
Literally, you could have made hundreds of dollars if you just like hung out on the last few days and just took all the junk.
Yeah.
Like people would forget to leave. People would forget. I got a bunch of lamps because tons of people just forgot they owned lamps and left them there. And then I showed up like a week later and I'm like, mine.
Remember they would get a giant dumpster?
Yeah, and it would fill up instantly.
Just throw all your crap in there.
Mm-hmm. Really, they should have gotten one of those, like the contractor chutes. Like it's like a stack of garbage cans. That honestly would have actually helped loads.
Yeah, but because they had the that sophomore studio with hundreds of people in it. And they had to run all the way down to throw their crap away.
Yeah, you'd fill up the trash can in about a second.
Yep.
And then it's just over full.
Yeah, it's not. Doesn't make any sense.
And they really emphasized everybody has to clean up. Come on, guys. But it just meant taking many trips through in the elevator with the trash can.
Right. Yeah. I know, and the thing that I was thinking about is, like, a lot of those people don't have cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, because, like, I remember you came with me to help me load all my crap.
Yes.
And take it away. But a lot of people just had to walk that to their dorms.
Yep.
Or their parents had to come and pick it all up. Because you just collect so much crap. I know that there were some people that kept every project. I mean, you don't need to keep all of the projects.
Yeah.
Not all of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them, maybe. Your favorite ones. You took pictures of it?
King Kuba, did you take a piss or did you leave a piss?
I like that.
Scene Monstein, you would think the building would have a better layout. You know, hilariously, I mean, it was a gorgeous building. Yeah. But it sucked in terms of real people operating in it.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, as soon as they were done with it, like, it killed most of the birds in Wisconsin because it's got giant glass windows.
Yeah, they put stickers all over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really nice looking building. But yeah, I remember most days walking up and down like 4 flights of stairs multiple times a day. Because there's no way you're gonna wait for the one elevator in the building.
Yeah.
I remember there was a kid who had a broken leg, and I remember him waddling into the elevator. I'm like, you could have taken the stairs. I don't know. I was often in a bad mood in architecture. I'm like, well, you're fine. You don't need to.
Yeah. I don't understand. Why were you in a bad mood the whole time?
Oh God.
Was it all of the work all the time and no breaks and just keep going?
Yeah, and then you work insanely hard, and it's like, yeah, this is not that good.
Yeah.
I remember one time I got testy with a teacher, although I really like my teacher, and we kind of laughed about it afterwards. Mm-hmm. But I had like stayed up like most of the night building this building, and then she's like, so like, why did you make it though? And I'm like, because it was the assignment.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there was some of the critiques were annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had critiques with real people in it too, right?
Yeah.
At the end, and we had that. And I remember just this guy. He was really nice to everyone, and then it was the final like 3, and it was like these other 2 people, and then it was me, and he just ripped on all 3 of us so hard. It's like what did we do? And Kate, our instructor, came up after us and was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Like he was hungry, he was tired. I don't know. He was just done. He gets that way sometimes.
Had enough.
God, I also remember. I think it was that one. It was like, you know, it's crazy to do all this work and get all these things done, and we were all like proud of ourselves for like getting through it, and we're done. This is the last day, whatever. And then that guy just rips right through us. Mm-hmm. And we just, you know, kind of look and we're like, well, I guess that was fun. Like, you want that satisfying ending of like, yeah, you did a good job. Pat on the head, you get to leave. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. You're dumb.
In my final critique, we kind of had the opposite of that. Or not the opposite of that, but we had 3 people, like 3 real people looking at our stuff. But one guy would never shut up. Yeah. And I'm like, honestly, the other 2 people here are way more interesting to me than you. So I would love to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
And what was great, he would always find one thing that he would come up with a good idea, and then he would talk about how his idea is way better than what you came up with. And I'm like, well, can you just say what is here, though?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could have done that, I guess.
Right. And that's always the tough thing about the critiques. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, but if you were in the situation, you wouldn't have done that either. Yeah, it's a weird.
Martin Neal, my understanding is that architecture is a discipline designed specifically to annoy structural engineers.
This is true.
Lucky Bat was there for all this. What was your thought process behind making this a building?
Yep.
Not so average Joe. I am in a design degree. I love getting roasted over a project for a half an hour while someone else who half-assed it gets tons of praise.
Yes, this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Although, when someone that half-assed it does really poorly, it's kind of
Oh,
great.
it's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
We had people not show up to the final, and you just fail the class immediately.
Yeah.
But they didn't realize that. So we got to see that.
Mm-hmm.
They showed up later.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, is there anything?" And they're like, "I mean, no." And they didn't get to become architects.
Lucky
Yeah, it's
Bat.
rough.
Lucky Bat has a critique that they got. I don't really like rectangular windows. Well, what do you want? A porthole?
Yeah. Make it a ship.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Thompson. Well, if you're in Wisconsin, go to the UW-Madison Humanities Building. It's the worst designed building I have ever been in. I remember every now and then I would cut through the nursing building to get to architecture, to get to our house, and there was like a weird permanent plywood ramp.
Interesting. Where? In the building?
In the building, yeah. When I would go through their building.
Was it like for wheelchairs?
I guess. I mean, it looked like they were doing work. Like they had put this here for the purposes of doing work, but I never saw any work be done, and I never saw the plywood leave.
Interesting. Some say that plywood is still there.
Probably.
Bleh.
Iron Frenzy 217. Part of my job is detailing steel beams and such for structural steel. I hate that part of my job. I prefer the plate and beam programming. Ooh.
Love a good beam. USA Libertarian. It's not a building. It is cardboard.
Mm-hmm. Lucky Bat. They were mean to me for like a half hour. Then our teacher was like, you got to make time to be mean to other people too. Oh, yeah. Good old architecture.
One of my favorite things was they would give you the... what are they called? They're not called rules. What are they called? What's the real word for them? I don't remember either. And so they give you the assignment. Yeah, the rules. They give you the assignment, and then they would give you the assignment, and then you'd go off into your like your different I guess sections.
Mm-hmm.
And our like instructor would think of it differently than other instructors would, and it would get really confusing because we thought we were doing one thing and everyone else thought we were doing a different thing. And eventually the overall instructor of the whole thing was also confused in what we were doing. And so then we were just graded based on whatever our individual instructor would say.
Yep. Literally, our guy was such an idiot that like everything would be wrong. Literally, the first assignment we got was wrong. So we were given a very bizarre prompt where go find a mechanical object, purchase it, and bring it to class on the first day. And we're like, great. So we all did that. And then we show up to class, and he's like, I wanted you all to do diagram drawings of these. and none of you picked a good enough thing. So everybody go out, find a new object, buy it, take it apart, and then do your drawings and have them ready for tomorrow. And every single teacher, so he leaves. After he leaves us with that bombshell, and then every teacher is like, no, whatever you bought was fine. And what's great is he picked somebody bought a typewriter, and he showed off the typewriter as the perfect pick because it had so many parts. Every kid who picked a typewriter didn't finish the assignment because there just wasn't enough hours in the day to draw all the keys in like 4 different drawings.
Yeah. Oh, and they're like, yeah, I'm the smartest.
Yeah. Oh, good old archer. There was one day where literally we came to class, and I don't know if he just didn't bring an assignment or if his assignment was so dumb all the teachers vetoed him, but they had an hour and 40-minute conversation. They just all got together for an hour and 45 minutes telling us nothing and just had a powwow where they came up with the next assignment. And we were all just waiting there being like, this is total garbage. We have so much work to do. What is happening?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It makes you a stronger person, though, going through that.
It does. It really does.
You live a lot less, but you will be stronger.
I remember this amazing time. The girl who sat behind me, she started to cry, and then she started to like scream and cry, and then she had just a real good cry, and then wiped away her tears and got right back to work.
Yep. Do you remember like in theater people would be like, "Oh my god, I have one assignment."
Oh my gosh, all the theater peeps were such weaklings.
I have to write half a paper. Oh no. And they'd be crying over that. Oh, jeez Louise.
Jennifer Perryman, what is your favorite step of the painting process? Probably the last 20%. Once all of the base coats have been applied, and then I get to just whenever the last 20% is really nice because all of your brush strokes are a final brush stroke, and so you're just making the model look really good, and that's really the only thing you're doing. Everything before that is like, okay, I'm painting this gray so that I can paint it white so that I can paint it blue. But then the final is like, ooh, I'm going to put a little highlight right here, and it's going to look like it's reflecting. It's going to be great. Those little things are really fun. Karsten Top, hey Eons, watching your videos and has convinced me to pick up 40k for the first time. Thoughts on the Tau Start Collecting box? Yeah, do they still have a Start Collecting? I don't think they've made the switch yet. That's probably a great choice. I think it comes with a bunch of suits, of the crisis suits, or the mech suits, and probably an ethereal. Contrasting hobby. I left school for the military. I can only imagine American universities from Old School and Animal House.
Nailed it.
Lucky Bat. Remember when every teacher except one bailed on the site plan, and so we just all showed up with no idea what to do and milled about on a frozen hill for hours? I remember that. Every teacher bailed because it was cold that day. Yeah, we were all supposed to build something on a real site that was picked for us, and no one showed up. I think my teacher supposedly had some car thing go wrong.
Me too.
Honestly, though, I was overjoyed when no one showed up. I was like, thank God. This is such garbage.
Yep. I know. I remember for that architecture drawing class that I took, there was remember the polar vortex?
Yes.
And he's like, your assignments are still due. You still have to come to the architecture building. You still have to put them up. But the school was telling people to not go outside because it was so cold.
Yeah, it was
like
dangerously
-30.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I told the chancellor on him, and he got in trouble. And he would bring it up every once in a while in class. He's like, "Yeah, somebody said that we were doing stuff, and then I couldn't do my class or whatever."
Yep.
And I would smile because I'm like, "That was me. I did that."
Mm-hmm.
Although hilariously enough, we still went out every single day because I drove my car for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know a bunch of people that lived in our neck of the woods. They had problems with their cars starting.
Yeah.
Because they didn't drive it when it was really cold. All their batteries died.
Mm-hmm.
Those geese.
Ryan asks, does Eons of Battle have a name for their Vidiminions fans? No, I know. What's the EOBBs? EOBBs. I like EOBBs. I know. What does the Trapped Under Plastic call their fans? Goody PPs. The Goody PPs. The Goody PPs and the EOBBs. King Kuba. I wish things would shut down here when it's -30.
That's true. I remember talking about that to somebody who lived in Alaska, and they're like, "It's like that every day." And you don't have to go to school. I'm like, "Nah, yeah. I guess we're pussies."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. This is obviously what it is. Jason M. I think it's EOB shills.
EOB shills.
It's yeah, the shills. Lucky bat. Yeah, Nick, the same teacher was like, "Nothing will change for us after the pandemic started." Like, sir, people are dying. Yeah.
Oh, good old internet college.
Yes, I didn't have to experience that.
I mean, it was only, I don't know, it wasn't that long, but it felt like the worst thing that ever happened to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't leave my house for weeks.
Exactly. And I mean, that was in the thick of it. That was the worst. And nobody knew what was going on and whatever. Yeah, that was wild.
I remember literally, I was handling my classes okay, and I was doing everything, but there was this one class where I just did nothing. And then, like, towards the end of the thing, I had not done any of the work, and so I just called my teacher on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, is there anything we can do here?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Just do all the work, and it'll be fine." And then I did all the work, and it's fine.
That reminds me of a different architecture class that I took. We had to do these like projects every week, and we had these like little quizzes and stuff. And I was not paying attention to doing that because I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do after college. So I was more worried about that. I was visiting places. I was trying to apply for jobs, all that kind of stuff. So I did not care at all about that class. But it got to the point in which I was failing it, and things were not going well, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to meet with people and try to figure this all out." And then the God, what's it called? Not teacher, but it was a grad student.
Yeah.
He just left out of nowhere, and he took all of our grades with him. So all the grades went away.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody knew what anyone's grades were, and so they just threw out all the projects I didn't do, and I got to start all over again.
God,
it was awesome.
Do you understand that that's a once in a lifetime stroke of luck?
I know. I bought a lotto ticket. I'm a millionaire now. I mean, like literally everything's perfect. It was so funny. I'm sure his life is ruined or something horrible happened. I don't know, because it was just one day gone.
Yeah.
And they had to. You had to stay. We all had to. If you were in a section, you all had to stay after class. And they're like, yeah, so he's gone, and all of your projects are gone, but you still have to do something.
Iron Frenzy 217. How old are you two? I'm 25.
I'm 24. You're old as shit.
I am. Yeah, I'm 25 and I'm going to be 30 this July. Or this upcoming, the next one.
Uh-huh. Lucky bat. I'm a bat.
Yeah. It is kind of fun, though, because in the internet age, you know, like, everyone's life story. And so, you know, like, oh, yeah, Spielberg had hit it big by, like, 26. And this person worked on this movie when they were 21. And... G-Force member 45. Painting all this armor trim for the Titan is always nerve-wracking. Karsten Top. I'm living in Melbourne right now. We've been in lockdown for almost a year straight. At this point, it's the longest consecutive lockdown. All my classes went to shit. Feels bad. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Sean, so as architects to be, have you ever worked construction? Weirdly, kind of, but not in the real way. We both worked in a theater scene shop.
That's true.
Where we built lots of things with 2x4s and screws and lifting and doing unsafe things.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, I worked in entertainment as well.
Yeah.
I was out in Los Angeles. And that was some construction. But I just made plans. That's what I did. And then I would make plans, and then I would give it to people, and then they'd flip me off as I walked away. I don't know if that's true. It just felt sometimes you can feel a flick off.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of those things where, you know, when you work in the office, as they say, people hate you a little bit. Because you're like, oh, I just made some changes. Here you go. And it's like, makes it impossible to do this. I can't pick up my kids now after work. My wife already hates me. I'm like, yeah, sorry. But then what you do, this is how you get on people's good side, though, is you're like, yeah, I know, it sucks. The designer just made changes. You pass off the blame. It's like, yeah, I know. I had to stay late too, even if you didn't.
Yeah,
even if it was your mistake. Doomslayer, as architecture students, did you ever have to help build schools for ants?
Weirdly, no. Not so average, Joe. It's hard to feel motivated in online classes, especially group projects.
No.
Yeah, it's
not possible.
It is not possible. I had some group projects, and it was hell trying to track down people. And what was great is, like, on the last possible day, the teacher just sent out an email saying, it's no longer a group project, just do whatever. And I'm like, well, let's...
Just turn into anything.
Literally, just turn in anything was the assignment.
Just tape your name onto a piece of paper and take a photo of it. Yeah.
I remember the last days, I would, on like the last week of classes, I just decided I was going to go one at a time and finish classes. And so I would just do all the work for one class and then submit it and do all the work for the next class. And mornings didn't matter and evenings didn't matter. And it was just, it was over.
Yep.
I never once checked my grades. I never once looked at, I think the last time I uploaded an assignment was the last time I ever opened my school email.
Yep. It's a little ridiculous that they're like, yeah, so I know that you don't know what's going on and no one does, but you're going to do everything like normal still.
Yeah. I had one teacher who was kind of okay about who handled it pretty well and was like, okay, we're gonna change everything because everything's different now. Almost all the teachers were like, nope, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Even though we literally can't possibly do anything and I can't talk to you and nothing is real.
Right. Yeah. It's also it's hard because I took a few online classes and I had to work from home for a long time, and that was miserable because you just why I don't know, it's weird. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? What's happening? Why does this matter? I remember the lockdown happened, and then I still had projects, and I would half-ass the projects at work because I'm like, I know that every single one of these is going to get canceled, and then they would all get canceled. And I'm like, yeah, I don't. So you're just sitting there, spinning around in a chair for 8 hours a day, just like, I don't. What's happening? I'm not doing anything.
Daniel Thompson, it's great because my grad programs is online through OU, so all of the professors know how to do online classes already.
Yep, I remember I took this class. I think it was a psychology or something like that. Or no, it was sociology. And they made you download a special browser that would lock you out of your computer so you couldn't cheat when you took like tests and stuff at home because it was an all online class.
Yeah.
But I just used a different computer.
Yep.
To cheat. And you know what? It worked.
I don't know how.
And I remember it said, if we find out that you cheat, you're going to be in big trouble. I'm like, what are you gonna do in my house?
Yeah.
You're going to be in bigger trouble because my wiener's going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be completely naked, and you're going to see all that.
I remember I found that my I took an astronomy course because they told me I had to, and it was, I could find the answers to the tests online because he must have just copy and pasted them out of some online resource.
Yeah.
Like, literally, all he would have had to do is just change the answer, like, which, like, A, B, C, or D was correct, and it would have foiled me, and he didn't do that. Internet man, I would say I fucking hate online classes, but I just dislike them. There is nothing like going in person for critique for my art classes.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's annoying that you still have to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like yeah. And it just doesn't feel as real. And it's like, well, if it's not real, I don't care. But it still does matter because, the grades still exist. It's a weird time.
Not so average Joe. It's not cheating if they copy pasted too.
There you go.
Yeah, thank God I could cheat in that astronomy class because it was really intense. It was like, here's a map of radiation. What elements do you think were nearby in this system? And I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. What kind of a question is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought a college level class would have been hard?
I took Earth Science. It was great. I took Earth Science at a community college. It was literally perfect. Although people failed out of that class just really easily. But he would give you he would give you a study guide, and the study guide was almost exactly the test. And if you just if you did the study guide, like it said, if you did the study guide, and I think a day before the test, he would even go over it with you if you wanted. And then if you just did the study guide, you'd get an A on the test because it's the exact same thing.
That's asking a lot of people.
But nobody did the study guide. But I did because I was like, well, I don't want to do bad. And it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, everything I did at community college was pretty good too. I did a lot of welding. I didn't take it. I took a bunch of gen eds. I took math and English and stuff, but I didn't take all of them, which I should have.
Yeah, I think the only one that I had to take was Spanish.
And
I'm fluent now, which is pretty amazing that they have that kind of a system where, you just can be fluent at the age of 20 for the rest of your life by just taking two classes, just 2 semesters. And I mean, I'm fluent in Spanish now.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Exactly.
I knew that translated. That was that translates to Nick sucks at Spanish.
No, I thought it's like a Taco Bell gives me the shits or something. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Remember we would have to go in and we'd have to like say Spanish and they would grade you or whatever. And I remember we had our NUFO as our teacher, and I did not do well on the saying it out loud. I was always pretty good at the tests, but I was not good at the saying it out loud because I didn't practice or care.
I did really good at the out loud.
Yeah.
But I would not do as good as pretty much everything else.
So really combined, we would have just dominated.
Oh my god, yeah.
But I remember he was like, "Yeah, you did not do well." And I was like, "Nope." But we talked about it or whatever. He's like, "So like, why aren't you doing this or whatever?" I'm like, "Well, I don't care. I'm doing all these other things." And he's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Nice.
He was cool about it. It's like, yeah. But I'm like, I just have to do this, and I'm not inspired at all to have it happen. Yeah.
I remember I talked with him in Spanish about his books had colored stickers on them. And he told me why they had colored stickers, because it was how he organizes them. Which was great because I got him talking.
Yeah,
that saved me, a half a minute.
Exactly. I remember
and then I just nodded.
Yeah. See. I know.
Que barbaridad.
Exactly. Is there any other Spanish words you really need to know besides that? Que barbaridad. But what was it? Remember we had to do these writing assignments or whatever, and it was like, tell us about your job or tell us about your major or all this kind of stuff. But we didn't learn all of the words to describe architecture.
Yeah, of course not.
Theater, all these other things that we were doing. Because other people are like, I'm an accountant, and they, it's easy. Or I make paintings. It's easy, but it's hard to kind of describe whatever the hell.
All right, so I sit down with the director, and then we go over notes, and I come up with some thumbnails, and I have to base coat all of these in tan because the scale 75 paint didn't work.
Troll Child XY, 2-year degree for electronics engineering technology. Got a job at a large, well-known semiconductor manufacturer, making really good money. 5 years of
Yeah.
working, and I own a house at 28.
Woo!
Community college rocks.
It does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone should go to community
College all the way.
Especially if you don't know what you want to do or you want to discover yourself. Don't do that at a 4-year school. That's just a waste of money.
Yeah, go to community college and then turn a 4-year into a 2-year.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Or don't go to college at all. Don't do anything. Get a van. Live out of a van. Do that, but don't do that with a boyfriend or something. That's not good. It seems.
Yeah, and not at Yellowstone.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a rough one.
How do you think you would handle the van life?
I wouldn't.
I think I would hate it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great.
And like an RV can hold a lot of piss and poop. But so do you think they have to empty the van like every other day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the vans work, like with the poop and piss system. Is it just a bucket? Is it actually built in to the van? Because that's kind of a lot of space.
Yeah, I know. I think some of them have a bathroom, some of them don't.
Or maybe you just. I feel like if you're living in a van, what you're doing is you're just stopping at rest stops.
I know. There was some YouTuber I was watching who his channel wasn't about being in a van, but he lived out of a van, and that was his thing. Yeah, he would just have to find places to pee all the time.
Yeah, and then you probably stop at like national parks or whatever, and you can pee there. I mean, you can pee anywhere, really. But yeah, I don't think it sounds like fun. I mean, long car rides are kind of fun, but I mean, for a couple days, it's not.
Yeah.
I'd kill myself if it was more than that. I mean, jeez Louise, would that be horrible?
Rhinus, they empty every day. And really, I mean, that just adds a whole nother step to the pooping process.
Exactly.
And then I wonder if you're ever pooping and you're like, oh, that one's going to give me troubles later. Link you 11. That was the worst Star Wars movie ever. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about which Star Wars movies are good, objectively.
Only Star Wars Episode 9 is good. Every other movie sucks.
I think I recently rewatched Return of the Jedi, and I was not remembering how much of that movie is Ewoks. A lot of that movie is Ewoks. I really like that. So they go down to the planet with a team of Rebel commandos. So when all of the heroes got captured by Ewoks, did the other Rebel commandos just kind of like make camp and twiddle their thumbs? Or did they... I like to think that like another guy was like, oh, now it's my chance. I'm the fourth in command, and now this is my mission. And then when he meets everyone again, he's like, oh, rats.
Oh, no.
GeForce Member 45, Empire Strikes Back is best. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is definitely the best. I love 7, though. 7 is really, really, really good.
Geez, you like Disney Star Wars?
I do.
Yuck.
Daniel Thompson, also legit. The only Star Wars movie I liked was Episode 8. I think if they had more time to work on Episode 8, I think it would have been one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. It has stuff I really like in it, and has a lot of stuff I really don't.
I think even if it was, people would hate it.
I think, yeah, even if it was, people would hate it. But I think it would have been more of a... It probably would have made more sense.
Wait, are you saying it doesn't make any sense?
I mean, some parts of it don't. I mean, they had to write a script in like 8 weeks because the movie was coming out in a year.
Yeah.
Oh, Rogue One was amazing. Bad Batch was really, really, really good. Internet man, the crazy nerds will come after you. Iron Frenzy 217, Return of the Jedi because green lightsaber. The green lightsaber's cool. Mandalorian was the best new Disney Star Wars. The Mandalorian is excellent. I love Mandalorian. Season 2 is probably even better than Season 1. Season 1 was great. Sim the Sloth. The Christmas special was the best one. It was the best one. Not so average Joe. Can we all agree, though, that The Rise of Skywalker was terrible? No, it wasn't terrible. But I think it definitely made some mistakes. And some of the mistakes are annoying. I think what happened was they tried too hard to please idiots online who made fun of 8 so hard. I think if they had just made a proper sequel to Episode 8 and continued the stories that were set in that movie, it would have been fine. But in the weirdest twist in all of cinema, they bought the only people who had enough money to buy Star Wars bought Star Wars, and then they got JJ, an awesome crack sci-fi director, to direct 7, and everyone loved 7. And then they're like, all right, we've got it in the bag. What do we do now? And then they're like, I don't know, let's just give it to some guy. And then they did. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely bizarre. Linku 11, 8 ruined the Star Wars mythos with the holdover maneuver. No, you're 100% wrong. Mm-hmm. Also, how was the Star Wars mythos only hyperspeed? Like, that was the only thing holding it together for you. Like, oh, if we see a new thing with hyperspeed, it'll completely destroy my faith in Star Wars. I know, it's because there's 10,000 YouTube videos called The Holdo Maneuver Ruined Star Wars, but it really didn't. ABS Forge, I thought 9 was the best of the last 3. I don't think any are great movies, but it was at least a decent mindless action movie. I really liked 9 when I watched it in theaters. It kept me hooked the whole time. I've watched it again, and I was started to notice things that were annoying me a little. Because really, the thing about Star Wars movies, they're different from other movies. They're a little bit like roller coasters. Like, you kind of have to be along for the ride. I mean, you kind of have to do that with any adventure movie, because adventure movies are going to have conveniences and contrivances, because it's a movie about fiction, about people doing things that are kind of impossible, because that's the exciting stuff that you would put in a movie. It'd be a little bit like people riding a roller coaster and they're like, what, it goes fast. What, am I supposed to be impressed because it goes fast?
Goodness gracious.
Internet man, I think the whole Disney trilogy suffered from not having an overarching plan. Absolutely.
Yep.
For sure. Odie Grasshopper, the best Star Wars is Star Trek The Next Generation. I do love me some Star Trek The Next Generation.
Ginge.
Oh my goodness, people are typing really fast now. Donald Kaler, Kylo Ren carried the hell out of the sequel trilogy. He did. Yes. I love Kylo. Sean, 7 and 8 were BS remakes of 4 and 6. 4 and 6? Not 5? I didn't think 8 was like Return of the Jedi. 7 is a lot like 4, but it's an homage. It is not a remake. It has a lot of the same beats, but it provides different emotional values to those moments. Luke wanted to leave Tatooine. Rey didn't want to leave Tatooine. Darth Vader was a mega badass. Kylo Ren is not a mega badass.
I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel like maybe you're a shill for Disney.
Daniel Thompson, like seriously, Rose was the best character in Star Wars, and then she was barely in 9th. Yeah, they really did her dirty. Like, she wasn't my favorite, but they didn't need to write her out of Star Wars. It felt so weird that she was such a big deal in 8, and then in 9, like, she gets to say 2 things. Like, it was like literally, I think it was just cowardliness on Disney's parts that they didn't let them do anything. Like, they're like, okay, so you can't. Everybody got mad because of everything. So this movie has to be 100% different than the other ones. And then they're like, well, this is the 3rd movie in a trilogy. At this point, we should be wrapping things up, not making up new stuff. But all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Weirdly, it's the exact same trap that the prequels fell into, where nothing happened for the first 2, and then the 3rd movie had to do all the work.
Mm-hmm. Everything happened.
Mm-hmm. Iron Frenzy 217. Somehow Palpatine returned. And you know what? If everything else had worked, I would have been fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Doomslayer. But if 8 had followed the story of 7, that would have been nice. Yes, it would have. GeForce Warhammer 45. Well, it's taking one of the main established pieces of lore and just snapping it in half, so now nothing matters. No, you're completely wrong. But that's okay. Let me explain. What does the very first time we ever see hyperspace is when the Millennium Falcon is trying to jump to hyperspace to get out of the range of the Star Destroyers, and Luke says, "Why can't we jump into hyperspace?" And then Han Solo says, "Jump into hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy. There's a million calculations. We could fly right into a star. A million things could go wrong." I totally am fine with hyperspace being dangerous, like they say it's dangerous in the movies. And it's not like the hyperspace ram worked. Like, they knocked a big hole in this big spaceship and they blew up a couple of ships. And then the Empire reorganized and had landing craft on the planet within the hour. Like, it didn't work. It worked enough to make them stop shooting the guns for a minute so that they could escape, but it barely got them out of a jam. And the Radis, the ship that the Rebels were using in 8, was the largest spaceship we had ever seen the Rebels had. It was literally like twice the size of an Imperial Star Destroyer. It was a massive ship, and I can totally be fine with a massive ship causing some pretty good damage when it light speeds into things. So does it destroy the lore? No. Does it even contradict the lore? No, it doesn't. And if you're like, well, why don't they always kamikaze ships? Because ships can often defeat other ships without kamikazing. I mean, what? A dozen X-Wings and a couple of Y-Wings took out the first Death Star.
How do you really feel? We haven't had one of these in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do you think Jade's wrong about, chat?
Typity type. Sir Monstein, I can find something I can enjoy about all of them. That's how I feel too. I mean, I even like the prequels, and I barely, like, I love the prequels, but I totally understand why they're the worst. Iron Frenzy 217, 8 went nowhere. It was subversion for subversion's sake. I disagree. I think... So it completely ignore Rose and Finn and Poe. Everything with Kylo and Rey was excellent. I love that Rey didn't side with Kylo. I love that Luke turned out not to be the hero, the savior of the story, because how lame would it have been if Luke just saved the day again? Like, Rey had to learn to save the day. ABS Forge, my most hated thing in all of Star Wars is the half of Episode 8 is just 2 starships traveling at a slightly different speed. Who thought that was a good plot? Yeah, it's a very Star Trek plot. It doesn't really make any sense. I guess it's just to show, like, the hubris of the Empire, because literally they could have blown them up at any moment if they'd wanted to, but they just wanted to do a cat and mouse thing. There's a great, I forget who said it on the internet, but they came up with this fan theory that Rose was actually a secret spy. And that literally would have fixed everything. It would have fixed why the Empire doesn't just blow them up, because they want their spy to figure out the secrets. It would have given Rose a really meaningful and meaty role in the story. it would have given Finn something to do because he could teach her not to be a secret spy and to run away from the First Order like he did. Literally, the Rose Tico being a spy would have been the greatest thing ever. Instead, they just have a slow speed chase.
Woo!
Which is
that's a roller coaster I can get behind.
Yeah, it's certainly a novel idea, but unique doesn't necessarily mean good. Oh wait, where'd it go?
Linku 11. Prequels are way better than sequels.
Oh my god, you're so wrong. Artman Mego, hello.
Welcome.
Green and Blue Productions, faster than light ramming happened like 3 times before, mostly into planets, and 1 time into a super ISD shields. Ooh, neat. Link 11, no, it ruins space battles with capital ships and droid starfighters. Well, the droid starfighters, if they ram, they take out 1 ship. If they, and I think it totally has to do with size. A bigger ship can ram the same size ship and destroy it. But I don't think a TIE fighter could ram the Death Star.
Are ships, like, cheap?
Yeah, well, I guess the logic is if hyperspace ramming is effective, you would build droid ships that would only ram. But if you can build a droid ship that can blow up a bunch of ships versus a droid ship that can just hyperspace ram into 1 ship. Also, they never put hyperdrives on any of the droid ships. Because I wonder if hyperdrives are very expensive. Adam Devon, 8 lost me when they did the phone joke right at the start. Oh, that's too bad. I was able to overlook that because it's literally a second. Like, are we all forgetting moments like, but I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Like, I could see that taking somebody out of the movie, but then you get right back into it, because I do think with all movies take a little bit of work for the movie to work. Like, if you just sit down and you're like, oh, this is gonna fucking suck, what are the odds you're gonna enjoy the movie? And is it the movie's fault? A little, maybe, but I feel like you're playing a bigger role. Monitor, the best Star Wars trilogy is actually Shrek. It is, though.
Oh.
It really is.
You're here to hear, folks. Jay is telling you that you're watching movies incorrectly.
Yeah! Sean, Star Wars was the first movie I saw in a drive-in. I was hooked and wanted to be a Jedi. It was really my religion. Nice.
Sweet.
Zephyr,
George Lucas every day.
The unexplained teleporting lightsaber annoys me. No, it was explained because we saw the teleportation in 8, the Force connection between Rey and Kylo. There's a moment where they had like a really dramatic, emotional connection, and then you saw that a little bit of the rain that was landing on Rey landed on Kylo, and so that starts the ball rolling of Force. You can move things through the Force. And that is how Rey got the lightsaber to Kylo. And it also I think it kind of shows that Kylo really has come back to the light side, that they were able to move a whole lightsaber between each other. I really liked that moment. Jason M, Rogue One, definitely best of the Disney movies. I really like Rogue One. That is a really, really great movie.
I think Solo's better. I like Solo more.
It usually comes down to which one I've seen more recently, and I've seen Rogue One more recently, but I do love Han Solo too.
Mm-hmm.
Not so average Joe. Rey should have stayed a random nobody. No reason to make her a Palpatine. Agreed. And weirdly, it seems like someone behind the scenes agrees, because if you just ignore that she's a Palpatine, it changes nothing about the movie. Like, her being a Palpatine literally plays no role in the movie. You know, I mean, I didn't find it hard to believe that Palpatine's laying pipe all up and down the galaxy, but Like, the reason to kill Rey doesn't have to be because she's a blood relative. It could have just been because she's a powerful Force user, and they don't want those in their universe led by, bad guys in black clothes. Brant George, remember lightspeed skipping? Lol, blech. Oh, I thought it was fun. But if you decide that it sucks, yeah, it does suck. Remember when they did a fun thing to get out of a tight spot at the beginning of an adventure movie? God, that sucked.
Exactly.
ABS Forge, the Radis is literally a space skyscraper. Yeah, it is a crazy big ship. Oh, DeGrasse Sniffer, I hate Star Wars, but your passion for it is genuinely inspiring. Sean, I'm Canadian and Jay will not accept me, but I like him anyways. That is true. I will not accept you, but I appreciate you. But you are Canadian, so. Nico 11. The prequels are way better than the sequels. I mean, that is a mantra that people spout. Also, it's a weird system of whenever you have multiple things to compare, usually one of the things you compare comes across very badly because you have to say this is better than that. But it's like I love all the Star Wars movies, and if I were to rank them in a top 10 list, it doesn't mean that the one at the bottom is garbage and the one at the top is perfect. It's just ranking things by how much you like them, or by what you like. It's kind of making up a weird. It's a weird system comparison, because like the prequels are better than the sequels. Well, what does that mean though? Because it's if you enjoy the prequels more than the sequels, that is 100% true and real. Now, when you say that the prequels are better than the sequels, that's up for debate, certainly. Not so average Joe. 8 brought in new ideas of how the dogmatic religions of the Jedi ultimately brought about their downfall. Lots of good concepts in 8. Lots of good concepts in 8 for sure. Execution, boy, a lot of things left to be desired, but I still really, every time I rewatch 8, I find more things to appreciate. And usually I find a couple more things that bug me. Donald Kyler, the hand-wavy explanation of how Rey got strong because Kylo was really skilled was bunk. I don't know what you mean. I mean, Rey was already a fighter, a scrappy fighter on Jakku. And then she is strong with the Force because the Force can manifest. I would say, you could say the Force awakened in Rey.
I get it. That's the name of the movie. Yeah.
In 8, she doesn't do anything particularly impressive. She does manage to take out 2 of the Red Guards, and then Kylo takes out like the other 8. In 9, she's had proper training with the Jedi Ball and Rey, and Leia. Sorry. So I was never upset that she was powerful because everyone in Star Wars is really good at things and really lucky. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, they run into Han Solo, who just happens to be, like, the best pilot in the galaxy.
Yeah, their grad school student teacher left.
Yeah.
While they were failing the class, and all the grades got all messed up. And so you just got a free pass.
Sean, Rey is a silly name, though. I'm fine with Rey. The thing that made Rey a little silly, I think, was how they decided to go only monosyllabic. Rey, Finn, Poe. Gross. Kylo gets 2 syllables because he's such a badass. Zafir, my only problem with Rogue One is that all the new characters introduced die. It would have been nice for at least some of them to survive. You know, I like that they all died. I thought it was a nice capper on that story because we're so used to our heroes being mostly indestructible in Star Wars, and it was kind of nice to see them all die. And most of them don't even get glorious deaths. A lot of them just get shot. Sean, Han and Chewie used to rock because they had the speed record. Then we find out it was because of Lando's crazy droid. Thanks, Disney. I mean, you could look at it that way. You could also look at it as, in the original movie, they're lying to get an old man to give them too much money to take them to Alderaan. I also did not get at all from Han Solo that the only thing unique about Han Solo and Chewbacca is that the L3 droid was programmed into the Millennium Falcon. I didn't get that at all, but if you got that, that's fine. Linku 11, the sequel trilogy is just a complete dumpster fire. I mean, that's fine. But it's not. Colin, Mark, there's a lot of stuff that I like in Star Wars universe. I love some of the aliens they have, like the Rancor, the Krayt dragons, and the Zillo Beast. Oh, the great Zillo Beast. One of the best episodes of Clone Wars. Here's my Agrax Earthshade. Oh my goodness, typing.
Yeah.
Odie Grassnapper, anyone who thinks the prequels are objectively better are full of it. Yeah, and that word objective is very subjective when it comes to art. Brent George, Captain America says, I understood that reference. Not so average, Joe. If we subscribe to the dark side theory of the Force, Rey would be super powerful in the Force because almost no Jedi exist. So she can draw more power from it. That's a possibility. I mean, the Force is very nebulous because it's just magic. And I think they want to keep it nebulous so that they can always get away with magic, which is good. Iron Frenzy 217. Ben! The scene where Kylo remembers his dad. That got me in the episode 9. I was like, he's sad because he's his dad. Where is my Lamian medium? I don't know.
Lamian. Ben!
Link 11, don't get me started on the throne room scene and the disappearing knife. The disappearing knife? I mean, the throne room scene is fine. I know a bunch. I mean, here's the tricky thing about these new movies. Every single moment of all the movies has 3 YouTube videos about why they suck. Although I would argue a lot of those YouTube videos exist to make money. Because often YouTubers, what you'll find with a YouTuber is they make a video and it gets a ton of views. It would almost be irresponsible to not make that video many more times. So I don't know how much stock I put in YouTube videos. And I know you didn't bring up YouTube videos, but I'm bringing up YouTube videos.
Yeah, how many of these were original thoughts, do you think? You know?
Doomslayer, Kylo cries more than he fights. Bad character. Go back to Steven Universe. I've heard Steven Universe rocks. I don't know if it's for me because I'm a little bit over children's programming, but I've heard it's very good. I also like him being more emotional. Because it actually makes him a little bit different than Darth Vader. Because if he was just another baddie in black clothes, I mean, we've done baddies in dark clothes before. Rage Helios. Teddy bears with rocks and sticks beat the crap out of trained soldiers in armor who had blasters. Jar Jar Binks became a senator and was the deciding vote that made Palpatine the Emperor. Let's trash Disney Star Wars, though. Exactly. Star Wars is often ridiculous and has been going on for decades. Brent George, lol, this chat room is going to come to blows because of Star Wars. Fight! 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 ABS Forge, have you watched Star Wars Visions yet? No, but I'm very excited. It looks like it's right up my alley. I love little anthologies. I love short films. And so, yeah, it should be my Jimmy Jam.
Your Jimmy Johns?
Mm-hmm. Tanner Bellolong, I think the sequel trilogy had tons of potential, but ultimately failed because of poor management. I agree. I think that's pretty much true of both trilogies, or both, not all, the first trilogy is pretty good, although I'm not the biggest fan in the world of Return of the Jedi. But, yeah, I think the prequel trilogy could have used some more time in the oven, and the sequel trilogy could have used some more time in the oven. Mm-hmm. ABS Fred, wait, people make heavily opinionated and clickbait videos for money?
I know, right? But I think we can all agree on this one. Jason M., Jar Jar is the coolest character going. Fight me.
Yes, yeah, Jar Jar is the best.
Yep.
Donald Kylo was what Anakin should have been. Yeah, pretty much, actually. Yeah, somebody who's kind of ruled by their emotion and they flip-flop between anger and compassion. Brent George, Kylo Ren Goes Undercover was a great skit from SNL. It was incredible. It was awesome. I had tons of people cosplayed as the undercover Kylo Ren at conventions. It was hilarious. I remember on the replica prop forums, people were like having a great time trying to figure out exactly what orange was used in his ridiculous like flight suit. It was awesome. It was also awesome that it was him. It really was Kylo Ren. Charles Syndram, pod racing deserves a separate movie. Star Wars pod racing would make an excellent movie. That would be so cool. Yeah, I think really, I mean, I think we've finally maybe gotten past the trilogies, and so hopefully we can just get just cool movies set in Star Wars. Hopefully.
No.
Ooh, Colin Mark, I like Dirge or IG-88. Both exceptionally cool droids. I like IG-88B. Jason M., it would be cool to have another pod racing scene, maybe in Mandalorian. In Mandalorian Season 2, we do see a pod racer engine, which is actually pretty sweet. I think it is actually Anakin's pod racer engine. I mean, or at least the same type. Yeah, what Mandalorian does brilliantly, which the new trilogy did not capitalize on nearly enough, was things you know. Like the Mandalorian, it rarely is aggressive with trying to like bait your Star Wars nostalgia, but often there will be deep dives. Like one guy's speeder being made out of a piece of a pod racer. It doesn't really deteriorate at all from the show, and people who don't care or don't know aren't going to see it, but people who love Star Wars are going to be like, that's a pod racer. That's the alien from that thing. That dish was the same dish that was on the other thing. And it's just, that is most of the I mean, that, number one, it's just a really well-written show with interesting characters and fun stories, but if you're a big Star Wars fan, you're just like, a thing I know, a thing I know, a thing I know. Where the new movies, and I wonder if it was just them wanting to be new and cool and let everyone have their new aliens and their new ships and their new droids and their new stuff, but it would have felt more like Star Wars if they had reused a lot of Star Wars. I'm pretty sure in the sequel trilogy, we don't see any OG alien species. I think we only see new aliens, and I think we only see new droids. I mean, we see some like R2-D2, but we don't see like some of the more obscure droids that were always kind of in the background. Because those background things are kind of what feels like Star Wars. I wonder if people said the same thing about the prequels, because when those came out, it was all new stuff. In exactly the same way. It's weird how similar the two trilogies are. Mm-hmm. Sim the Sloth, I want to see a Mad Max style movie but with Jawas. Don't we all? ABS Forge, it's very restrictive to directors to say that their plot must span over a trilogy. Yeah. I would have loved it if 9 just ended and it's like, we're just going to make more. This turns out this story is going to take 5 movies. That would have been wonderful compared to, yeah, we're just going to make it work in 3. Trent Rosenbaum, hi. Couldn't sleep here in the UK, and with the Star Wars chat, it feels like I've walked into the cantina after Obi-Wan cut off the arm. I loved seeing the different droids from R2 units. Yeah. Iron Frenzy 217.
This is a Star Wars hate stream.
It is. Wait, there were no Twi'leks in the sequels? I don't think so. I don't think there was any returning aliens. I mean, we had like Akbar came back, but I don't think we just saw like background stuff, you know. Lazy Bum, are these Repentia from the Combat Patrol? Of 3 of them are, and then the rest of them are all from the normal plastic box.
There you go.
Zephyr, well, the Falcon makes an appearance in episode 3. It does, but it's so far in the background that it's a very Easter egg. Blink and you'll miss it. Doomslayer, agree, just write good stories. Yeah, and also, like, I don't think you can plan for greatness. I think you just have to let it evolve. Like, maybe they should have instead of saying, okay, so one movie's going to come out this year, and then another movie's coming out 2 years later, and then another movie's coming out 2 years later. Like, I feel like that is not setting yourself up for brilliance.
No.
But what if they just gave Star Wars to, like, 10 different directors, and gave each director, like, $5 million, and access to the Mandalorian backlot? You might get some absolute gold. You also might get some train wrecks, but you might get some absolute gold. That feels... Because it feels like you can't really force, like, a masterpiece. Which is what people demand of Star Wars. Green and Blue Productions, my favorite Star Wars thing was the final for the Clone Wars. It was so well done, and if you waited for it since the 2D Clone Wars prequels and the canceled third one. Yeah, you mean talking about Season 7 of Clone Wars? It was really, really good. Donald Kaler, I think one of the Rebel fighter pilots in 9 was a Greedo alien. Ooh, a Rodion? I'll have to rewatch it. I'll keep my eye out, though. Charles Syndram, I feel a sudden urge to binge all the movies. Me
That's
too.
That's what happens when Jay shills.
Link 11. Wait, our Lord and Savior, the Gonk droid, does not appear in the sequel trilogy? I think the Gonk droid does, actually. Because I think it's a meme that the Gonk droid appears in all the movies. Lazy Bum, are these easily head swappable? I want to put Necromunda Escher heads on them. I bet you could get the job done, but I bet it would involve a lot of green stuff scarves.
Are the heads sculpted onto the bodies?
I mean, a lot of them are like this one's wearing a necklace that kind of pokes into the shoulder a little. Like, I bet you could do it, but it wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world. This person, I think this little piece of collar is attached to the body, but the head is the plastic.
Are you saying that Games Workshop is stunting your creativity?
Yes, 100%. Yes. Games Workshop is almost as bad as Star Wars Episode 9.
Damn.
RT. Star Wars The Last Jedi was the best Star Wars film, hands down. It's just super duper good. I find a lot of stuff to appreciate about 8. Every time I watch it, I get a little something. Daniel Barrett, one of the Resistance pilots of 7 was one of the 3-eyed cow aliens. Oh, oh god, what is that one? A Grand. Was it a Grand? It'd be cool if it was, but I don't remember one in the movie. Trent Rosenbaum, what does everyone think of The Bad Batch? I love it after Clone Wars and Rebels. I really like it. I like the new characters. I think it's a really clever way to keep Clone Wars going, because it really does keep Clone Wars going, but it gives you new characters to work with, because I feel like they had kind of used up Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Doomslayer, I think The Mandalorian is the true spiritual successor to Star Wars. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, episodes 2 and 7, and Rogue One. I hear Rebels. There has been some good Star Wars since the originals. Absolutely. Doomslayer, and the Star Wars Holiday Special shows that there was bad ones even back then. And what's funny is everybody knows how bad the Star Wars Holiday Special was, but does anyone know that there was an animated Ewoks show and an animated Droids show starring R2-D2 and C-3PO? Those were
amazing.
Literally so bad that everyone collectively chose to ignore them. Mm-hmm. Brooke Smirkett, are you going to get the new Kill Team box with Scout Sisters? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't even know. Well, I guess probably by the end of the year, they'll probably release that set.
Mm-hmm.
Chalmouth. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Why did I just put magenta on my palette?
Couldn't tell you. Blue and Green Productions. I liked droids when I was younger. So do you hate them now? You think they're dumb now?
Well, the show was called Droids. The
Oh.
animated show with R2-D2 and C-3PO.
I was thinking of droids in general. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I used to like all the droids, but now I think they're all dumb.
Tristan Lee, I appreciate what 8 tried to do, but a lot of the ideas should have been put in a standalone movie, not part of the mainline trilogy. Also, a lot of the ideas explored are just done better in KOTOR 2. Knights of the Old Republic. I know everybody loves Knights of the Old Republic. I never partook. I don't know if I have room in my heart for another era of Star Wars. But I know that's blasphemy. Doomslayer, those 3-eyed aliens were in a very strange sitcom in the 90s called Maniac Mansion, which, if you play the NES games, was based on the show Just Nothing Like It? What? I mean, it's possible. That's pretty awesome if it's true, though. Like, one of those masks made it out into the world and it ended up in another thing. Sean, I think I remember an Ewok TV series. Am I wrong? No, you're right. There was also a couple of Ewok movies. Doomslayer, ILM did Maniac Mansion special effects. Interesting. I'm going to have to hunt this down. That sounds awesome. A Gran helmet or a Gran head ended up in another show.
And speaking of getting head,
yeah,
it's 12 o'clock.
Woo!
You know what that means? It means that we're going to shut her down.
Oh, yeah. Shut it down. Shut it all down.
But we had a bunch of videos this week, so you got to check all those out. We even had a Patreon-only video come out this week on yesterday, because technically today's Sunday now. And we also had we had 9 STLs come out. For our new terrain of the month. So you got to join the Patreon for that. But we'll be back with another live stream on Monday at 9 p.m. Central. So join us for that.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.